So super excited to be here with my good friends, Coley LeVar Long and Michael Woody. You know, if you've seen any other episodes with Coley, what you know is we use all three names. But really want to talk to you guys because both of you had a unique opportunity to use tablets while you were in prison.
Right.
Yeah, I wish they had tablets when I was incarcerated. I feel like I would have had a totally different experience. But I'm just saying that I don't know.
Right.
So really would love to hear from you guys. What was it like to have prison tablets? But wait a minute, before you answer that, how long were you into your sentence before prison tablets were introduced?
That's a good question. I probably was approximately like 21 years before I first got exposure to the tablet.
So you were in prison for 21 years, and then you were exposed to the tablet?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's around the same 21 years, to be exact. Yep.
Did you guys go into prison around the same time?
Yeah, we came together.
Yep.
We was incarcerated similar the same time, but we actually in 2005 or 2004 or 5, we was actually on the same compound at USP Lee County.
Both of you said that it was around 21 years into your sentence before the tablets were introduced.
Right.
What was it like to get tablets for the first time?
Yeah, I would say it most definitely was a game changer, right? You know, because you think about it. So the word school comes from the Greek word skole, which means free time. And people who are incarcerated have nothing but free time. And the convenience of having a tablet and that type of access to information, when you think about how the unpredictable nature of prison and just how it's ran and space being limited to places where you can go within the prison to watch educational videos or to get books like at the library. You saying that now you got pretty much a one-stop shop, and then you're doing it within the convenience of the place where you spend most of your time, which is your unit. So having that tablet and that type of accessibility to information and of all kinds, and when you take into the fact that, okay, if you got a library in the prison, but everybody can't read.
Right.
People, some visual, some audio, some tactile, but then you have all that accessible on the tablet, then like it serves more than one purpose. So it most definitely, and then coming in contact with that form of technology was a way, I think, to soften the blow so it didn't really shock an individual when they step back into the real world, because our technology is always evolving so fast. So
How about you?
I share the same sentiment as Woody. You know, honestly, I think that having access to the tablets at that time, it kind of helps you get reacclimated to this digital world when you're coming home. You know, like I remember shared previously when we first met, like how when I did came home, you know, going to a Walmart, going to a Whole Food or any establishment, like grocery establishment, where they have self-checkout. And actually, you know, like
I still hate that for the record.
you know, and actually, like, it's kind of, and I think it's kind of like it's paramount for you to have a successful entry for you, even though it's at a minuscule level with the tablets, you know, because you're coming in an age where you have guys that have been incarcerated over 20, 30 years, you know, all they know is paper money. But now they're entering a society where, you know, they're phasing off with paper money, and now you have to literally live off your smartphone, you know, so those small steps are incremental, that will be instrumental, you know, just getting access to having an electronic device in your hand, learning how to charge it. Some people really don't know how to charge their tablet, you know, so those small steps that you learn using with these tablets, you know, you'll strive leaps and bounds out here, you know, in your reentry process.
What did you consume while you were in prison on the tablet?
I used to like to watch they wasn't YouTube videos, but they were educational videos. People, you know, TED Talks.
TED Talks.
Yeah, that's what it was. I used to watch a lot of the TED Talks on various different subjects. That was more what I was into. In books, you know, they had extensive access to so many, you know, books.
More so than what was in the library.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
Got it. And what about you?
Similar. I found very beneficial for me because Dr. Amy Lopez, who was the education person at she used to download. She had a platform for career opportunities. So on the tablet, even though you couldn't take it physically, but she used to have career paths for how to get your CDL. What's that? Coding. All type of occupational employment that was on that tablet. I mean, me personally, like,
did you take any of those?
Yeah, of course. I soaked that up, because I was all about opportunity, what type of opportunities to be presented to me. I want to prepare myself as much as possible. I mean, I understand that a lot of my peers, they were just excited just to have movies and, and games on that. But I encourage, and the people still inside, it's good that to be a distraction, but don't let that pastime become your main time. When they got these type of occupational education type platforms, we got to utilize that on the tablet.
Got it. And how did, well, actually, tell me a funny story about technology after you came home. For me, I couldn't wait to have access to technology, and I was in the car coming home, and I had never seen a smartphone. And so I was handed a smartphone, probably about 20, 30 minutes of people calling me and, everything, having to swipe and do all kinds of stuff. I was over it. I was like, it was too much for me in that short period of time. And I, had to take a step back because I didn't know how to really, engage with that. The other thing for me was the first time I went to a McDonald's and, the screens were moving and, and I was like, okay, I just want to read the screen, and I won't say it caused me anxiety, but it was so stressful just to order because things were just popping and moving and so forth. I still find it to be a little too much when I go in to order at a fast food place. But for me, those are some of the ways that, technology has shifted so much in just a short period of time of 5 years. So for you guys, anything, that changed? Well, I mean, obviously 20-something years, It's a dumb question, right? But, what surprised you about technology?
How fast it evolves, as soon as you get something down packed, they just come out, from having a flip phone to now you're on iPhone 15, I mean, I share a funny story. It's not funny, but it's funny to me, but it's like, and what it gets tested is the reason why I came ahead of the curve so quick, because I used to get in trouble a lot in prison, because having get caught with cell phones in prison. And I'm not advocating for that, but I'm just saying that experience kind of helped me with my transition. But I remember a guy, he did I don't want to say his name, but he did 40-some years in prison. And his family, I think it was his grandbaby or something, they gave him a phone, and he's trying to learn how to phone, but in the event he did something and Siri came on and started talking to him and he broke the phone. He was because he said it was somebody in the phone. You know what I'm saying? And it's man, it was funny, but it's not funny because we need that type of exposure,
right.
But it's important for having that digital literacy is very important, especially for the guys that been in, and the men and women that been in that long.
Plus you can't even apply for jobs,
Exactly.
Sometimes while you're in prison, the counselors there, probation, parole, will say, oh, go apply for jobs. There is no such thing, for the most part, as go apply for a job.
Right.
You have to do it online.
Right.
So making sure that people are using the tablets to help them prepare for jobs is important. But any funny story or anything for you around technology in your experience?
Yeah, I would say this. I remember, I don't know if it was funny. I guess you look back now, it probably was. But I was thinking about the self checkout, and so going to the grocery store, and a lot of the aisles were closed. Most of it, so it wasn't nobody physically there to help you. So you kind of looking around, but I was aware of the self checkout process. I just haven't done it on my own, right? But so going up to the you know, to the
The checkout counter.
the checkout counter, and just going through that process, and then like if you know, it's telling you to scan the items and then make sure you put it in the bag, and then I forgot something went wrong. I didn't do something right, and so it alerted someone to come help me, right? But just finding myself in that space where I didn't really know you know, what to do, and you know, someone did come and help eventually, but yeah, that was my first kind of like of a challenge of technology, and hitting this point where I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, no, I can tell you, I a few weeks ago went grocery shopping, had a basket full of stuff, only to see that there was no cashiers. I was going to be the cashier, that self-checkout. So, you know, the moral of that story is, you know, look to make sure first before you load up, because self-checkout is not bad when you have a few items, but when you have a basket full of stuff, that's not
Gotta tag somebody else in.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys for, you know, taking the time. And if you can just maybe take 30 seconds each and just encourage someone about the use of technology. There are a lot of technology is new inside of prison facilities. Applications, content, you know, it's starting to come alive. And, you know, just encourage people as to what are some of the things that they should be doing, and how should they leverage technology for their good and for their reentry.
Well, I think that, you know, it's important that you utilize your time, especially when they download content, especially learning how to create emails, you know, because everything's sending out emails. So you want to be in a position where you have to create Zoom calls. So I learned how to log on Zoom calls, make conference calls. 'Cause a lot of people are still working remotely. You know, you got to be able to work these instruments. So, you know, like I encourage you, just don't use the tablets for the movies and the radios and all that. That's great, you know, but like I said, that's a pastime. Your main time is not just, you know, want to get out of jail, but learning these things that may develop you on this tablet so you stay out of prison, you know. So utilize that. Did
they have access to Zoom training while you were there?
Actually, you know, because Woody, you know, like he at the YME is such a unique unit. You know, it actually trained you, like, because we was having Zoom conferences with city council members, with mayor department and things like that. So that really helped us with our transition.
So you guys really had a very sophisticated process towards the end, for the record.
Yeah.
But same with you, encouraging people for like the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would say, like, you know, abreast yourself and with the technology, whatever form it comes in, because like when you spend time with any device, what I've learned is that anything you play around with, you begin to learn it. And sometimes, like, you know, when you think about the drop down tablets and just, you know, it pretty much instruct you on what does what. But you first have to, like, you know, when something new is introduced into prison life, if they wasn't already when it's something new, you have to shift your habit or your daily routine to allow that in. And so allow that, if tablets are being introduced to your facility, then allow that in to the point where you, okay, let me sit with this for an hour or two, or however long I can hold it, to begin to just navigate, to play around with it, you know, and I think you'll figure out a whole lot that will soften the shock. So when the next generation or the next 4 or 5 generations of technology show up and you just being released, you know, it won't probably be so much of a scare.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you guys for joining us on Mission Reboot. You know, we'd love to have you come back, and also, you know, we'd love for you guys to help us think through what is some of the right content. You know, because you consumed, you know, information there. What I know is you guys are, you know, brilliant guys, and, you know, would even like for you guys to consider, you know, what can you put on these tablets yourselves that could help other people. But really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
Thank you for having us, man.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to it.